everyone, and welcome back to Curly Fry. My name is Caleb, aka Curly Fry, and today I have a very special episode for you guys, and it's all about one of my personal favorite books that I found just a couple of years ago. In fact, I found it because we were shopping about Christmas time. We walked through a bookstore, I saw it, and I turned around and said, this would be an amazing Christmas gift, and I got it that year. Now, as you guys can see, I am a huge Disney fan. I've been a Disney fan all my life. My mom, my uncle, they were born in California, and at one point my uncle lived in California while we were up in Washington, and so we frequently visited him and went to Disneyland all the time. And so this is kind of a precursor of what the book is all about. Not completely Disney, I promise you that, but it is from the former CEO Bob Iger, and it is called The Ride of a Lifetime. It is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. There are very few leadership books that I actually really like, but this is my favorite. In fact, it helped me shape one of the ministries that I was a part of a few years back. So just some background information on this book is by Bob Iger. He was the CEO of Disney, the entire corporation, and so that included of course, Disney parks, Disney movies, ABC, radio shows, all of this stuff he was in charge of. And it's not meant to be a memoir, however you say it. It's really supposed to be about what he's learned in his time as he started at the bottom of the company, and it wasn't even Disney at the time. He started at a television station, and how he rose through the ranks and the things, the leadership lessons that he's learned through his entire life. But it does read a bit like a memoir. It's very nice. It starts from the beginning and goes all the way through. So we see the acquisition of Pixar, of Lucasfilms, of Star Wars, and a bunch of other stuff that's really cool, but it's all about his life lessons. Now, this is not a Christian book, so there is some language in there, not terrible. It mainly has to do with the people he was around. I guess it's that business. So a little bit cutthroat, but very insightful. And for me, it was amazing because what I was going through in the ministry at the time, I read from Bob Iger, and it seemed like he was going through that, and I was able to shift and add some vision to this new area of the ministry that we wanted to go for. So I want to share with you guys two things that I pick up from the book and I use almost daily in ministry and even in life. It's one of my favorite things. So to give a little bit of background, I hope that I remember this correctly. It's been about 2 years since I've read it, and I'm actually reading it this year because I wanted to read it again. But one thing is, he was going for the position of CEO of the Disney Corporation. Now this is after Michael Eisner was actually sadly being forced out, and now he was essentially kind of campaigning for the position. One of his friends came in and he was a campaign manager, and Bob showed him all of the things he wanted to do, kind of like this is his vision for the company, and the guy said, you have too many things. You need to pick like 2, at the most 3 things, or maybe even 4, that you want to focus on, and that has to be what you go for. If you add too many things, they all kind of lose importance because there's just too many. But if you pick 3 things, narrow everything down to 3 things, do them and do them well, you'll be successful. So from that, I learned in ministry, those goals need to be our church's vision. So for example, right now I'm at a church in Canton, Texas, Radiant Church, and we have 3 parts of our vision. We want people to connect with God and each other. We want them to grow in their faith and their giftings that God has given them, and to shine for all to see. So those are the 3 things that we do. So anything that I do within Kids Ministries, I filter through those 3 things. If something that I think is a great idea and would be really fun, if they don't hit at least 1, my goal is always to hit at least 2. If they don't hit those, then we don't do it. Take it off the calendar. We're not doing it, because we have to have a focus, and our focus is to connect, to grow, and to shine. And so I'm going to ask you this: what is your church's vision? Does your church's vision fit into this? Now, sometimes there can be a lot of ministries. It's not bad to have a lot of ministries, but think about in your own kids' ministries, are there things that you're doing that do not connect with any of those highlights, any of those focus points or visions that your church has for for your community and your church overall. If not, then you may want to decide whether or not you want to continue to do that. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you guys, and the last thing for this video, is kind of intense, but I actually live by this. And in this book, he says, this is his own words. In fact, if you get the book, you can go to the very back, and it has kind of all of his main ideas, main points that you can go back to. And one of them says, innovate or die. One of the things that he wanted to do when he became CEO is to utilize technology better, because he saw a pattern of the world going more into technology. And so that's why we have Disney Plus today. He wanted to be able to give the customers, the Disney customers, better access to their movie, their film base. And so there we have Disney Plus. But I find this I find this to be very important in ministry, not just kids ministry, ministry in general. It's innovate or die. We have to be very careful that we're not always stuck doing the same things, because as we do that, people get familiar with it, it gets a little boring, and then you begin to see people actually withdraw from the church. And so innovate or die, that is my mantra, I guess you could say, in ministry, is we always have to be looking how we can better our ministry, better the kids' ministries, how we can always take things to the next level. Here's another thing. This is something that I learned from, another shout out to Kevin Gear, who was a lead pastor in Montana. He was a children's pastor when I became one, and so I kind of was under him and learned a lot from him. He said that every single time that you meet with kids, you have to have fun. Now, fun stands for three things. First, fun is, the F in fun is you have to have something funny. The U is you have to have something unexpected, and you have to have something new, F-U-N. Funny, unexpected, and new. And so that's something that I try to incorporate in every single service. And so even when we do theme Sundays, I try to take that and go to the max. I learned a lot from Kevin Gear, because here's another thing that he always said, wow to the second power. That's what we want to see every Sunday. So when people walk in, not just kids, but parents too, when they walk into your church and they see what's going on in kids, you want them to say, wow. But then when they are sitting in service and things are happening, you want them to say, wow, again. So you want them to say, wow, to the second power. You want them to say it twice. So those are just a few things that I've learned from The Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger and, of course, Kevin Gear. Shout out Kevin Gear. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me at caleb@curlyfry.org. I'm always happy and willing to talk to you guys and help you guys out in any way that I can. And if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get a notification every time that we post a video, which is every week. We hope you guys have a great Sunday in kids ministry this week, and we'll see you guys next time.